Hello students, last day we discussed that Tarun got a golden opportunity to train under a very famous athlete named Ram Narayan, and this Ram Narayan was an Olympian. So he gave Tarun a promise. What was the promise? He would train Tarun if Tarun wins a race. Which race? The race that was conducted on November 14th, and Tarun agreed to that. Up to that we have completed, and as we have seen, Tarun's desire was to become the fastest runner in the world. He had the power, he had the desire, and the problem was that he hadn't a good coach. And now he got that opportunity, a golden chance to train under Ram Narayan if he wins the race. Up to that we completed. So it is mentioned that now Tarun had a new hope. It is mentioned the next day brought a new ray of hope. So what did he do? He was doing all the preparations to win the race, because it was his ambition, it was his dream to be the fastest runner in the world. So he was planning to have a severe practice. So what did he do? The next morning he got up early, had milk, and before his mother could finish her query on what he was up to, he ran out and went to the Nehru Stadium to check the details of the race. He was very happy indeed. He had to take part in the competition, so he wanted to know the terms and conditions, the details of the competition. In order to see what are the details, he went to the stadium. Okay, then what all things he did? He started practicing very seriously. So the term used here is he started practicing zealously. So he knew that it was the only chance for him to get a good coach. So he was doing practice for that. So what all troubles or what all difficulties he had to face we have seen, and now in order to make use of the opportunity, what's the opportunity? To train under Ram Narayan. The only condition was to win the race. So what did he do? He got up 4 in the morning and run up to 10 miles, severe practice. In the evening he would time himself according to the 1000 meters race, 1000-meter distance prescribed by the competition. Understood? That means he was doing all the preparations. He wanted to be perfect in every sense. He wanted everything to be perfect. So it was, even though he had practiced many times, even though he had taken part in many competitions, it is told that it was the first time he was doing all the things in such perfection. Understood? So he wanted to win the race at any cost. So we know that normally his desire was not so appreciated by the parents, but this time he understood that somebody should be there to support him. So what did he do? He told everything to his mother, that he met such a person and he gave such a promise and all these things to his mother. So for 5 days he practiced vigorously, very energetically, strongly, and he went to the Nehru Stadium to take part in the competition, and Ram Narayan had promised that he would register his name and give his participation card. So he reached the stadium, and Ram Narayan handed over him the participation. So he thought, what was that? However hard I must win this race, it will be very difficult, but I must win this. Why? We know, to practice under Ram Narayan. And in the family, we know that he was not so appreciated by his parents. He himself considered as the black sheep of the family, and this was a chance to show that he was not really a black sheep. He also was good at something. This was the chance for that. So he was, what was he doing for that? Practicing very severely. So it was 14th November, and we know what's the specialty here. It was the day on which the competition was taking place. So he was going to the stadium. He got the blessings of his mother, and while he reached there, a large crowd, a huge crowd was there. So he entered the stadium. It is mentioned Tarun entered the office where a signboard read participants only, with his heart beating faster every second. That means he was a little tensed, we can say, because so many people there, so many participants were there, and it is mentioned that almost 50 participants were waiting to take part in this race. So that time somebody patted on his shoulder. Who was that? Ram Narayan. He told all the best. So he might have got some relief. Then Tarun smiled at him but didn't say a word. Fear had gripped him from head to foot. He was afraid. So he couldn't even speak. So the time for the race, all the participants lined up, and no doubt everyone, all the 50 participants wanted to win the race, and they had there, it is mentioned, each one of them had his family and friends in the stands to cheer for him. But we feel that Tarun was all alone. But was he alone? No. See, to his amazement, Tarun caught sight of his mother in the stands. Among the people, his mother also was there. So what was his feeling? See, the fear in his eyes gave way to confidence. While he saw his mother, he became very confident. So far he was very afraid. The whistle blew and all the participants started off with all their might. All their might means all their strength. All the 50 participants. They started the race with all their strength. Because we know that all of them were taking part to win the race. And do you know who was leading? No doubt, Tarun. And the lead was the fastest of them all, Tarun. Seeing himself ahead of everybody, Tarun felt very proud of himself, because he thought that his ambition was going to be fulfilled. He would surely win the race because he was in the front, he was leading, it is mentioned. But what happened then? On the track there was a shallow path. As he was running fast, Tarun didn't notice that and he slipped. So there was a shallow, a marshy part there on the ground. He didn't notice. Then what happened? He slipped. Breathing fast, he saw the other kids going past him. Then what happened? Almost all the participants overtook him, we can say. He couldn't be a loser today, and so without wasting a second, he got up to run once more. He was not ready to give up. He had to win the race at any cost. So what happened? He stood up and started his race again. And he was sure that he would be able to overtake all of them and to win the race. He was running very fast. Being quick, Tarun overtook a few kids ahead of him. But as fate had it, he slipped once again. The second time also, he slipped and fell down. So it was no doubt very unbearable for him. Actually, it was possible to win the race, but he slipped the second time also. So he was very sad and he looked into the crowd and saw his mother. And he understood that she was telling something. What was she telling? Get up, son, get up and run. His mother was encouraging him to continue the race. So it gave Tarun a new spirit. So what did he do? He got up once again. He got up once again. We know that it is the second time. First time he fell down, he started his race again. Again he fell down. His mother encouraged him. So he got up once again. And now he was among the last few. Most of the students, most of the runners had overtaken him. But he didn't give up. He was not ready to give up. So what did he do? He was running with all his strength, and once more he overtook some children. Since he was fretting a little too much, he fell a third time. See the tragedy. Third time also he fell down. Tears were rolling down his cheeks. He was very sad. He couldn't bear it. He thought that he understood that he was going to lose the race. It was not possible to win it. How will he get into Ram Narayan's training? No, that was his thought. He was not thinking of coming first. He was thinking of getting training under Ram Narayan. And as Ram Narayan had promised, he would train Tarun only if he wins the race. How will he prove to his parents that he was talented? This also was his desire, to prove that he also was good at something. He was not a black sheep. And now he was the last kid on the track. All the other 49 runners overtook him. He turned his eyes towards the stands. He lost all his hope. It was not at all possible to win the race. But something surprising happened. What was that? He heard the words of Ram Narayan shouting, screaming from somewhere. What was that? Come on, Tarun, run. The previous time we know that his mother asked him to continue his race. He started. He fell down third time. He lost all his hope. He was the last one. Then he listened to the words of Ram Narayan, come on Tarun, run. So what did he do? He got up a third time and continued his race. He was determined to finish the race. We cannot say to win the race. Now there is a possibility only to finish the race. This 12-year-old determined boy who was last on the track got up and ran with all the strength he had. He knew very well that he would be the last one. But still, he used all his strength. That means he ran as fast as he could. That's what we can say. Till he finished. So, by the time one of the boys named Pavan reached the finishing point, and everyone, the crowd, was cheering for him, and he had no doubt he had won the race, and the other runners also were finishing, and now Tarun was the last one. But there was a surprise. What was the surprise? There was a louder applause when he crossed the finishing line last. While Tarun finished as the last runner, there was more applause. That was a matter of surprise for him. And why did the audience, why did the crowd, what we say, um, encouraged Tarun? It is mentioned. The audience cheered for his determination and his value for never giving up. His determination, his strong desire. It's a fact that he fell down 3 times, but he was not ready to give up. And also his strength, his power for never giving up. That was the matter encouraged by the audience. He bowed his head with shame and said to Ram Narayan, I am sorry, sir, I lost. I couldn't keep my words. I promised that I will win the race, but I couldn't. I am sorry. No, son, to me you have won the toughest race, the race of your life. But the words of Ram Narayan, what were his words? No, son, to me you have won the toughest race, the race of your life. You are not a loser. You are a winner. You got up and started afresh each time you fell. Even though you fell down 3 times, each time you got up and started afresh, started a new race. You are a real life hero. Your training starts tomorrow. So I promise I'll train you tomorrow on this. So we know that what would be we can imagine the condition of Tarun, how happy he would be. So Tarun couldn't believe his ears. Tears filled his eyes again. This time, if tears fell, that was because of his excess happiness. Because we know that it was Tarun's desire to train under a good coach, and he got the golden opportunity to train under Ram Narayan and Olympian. So he smiled at his mother, who hugged him and said, you are the best son in the world. She didn't tell that you are a black sheep in the family. You are good for nothing. No. What did she tell? You are the best son in the world. So that's the story. So children, here, can you say, why did Ram Narayan decide to train Tarun? Because of his, as the term we have discussed here, because of his determination. So children, in the case of every one of us, there will be failures. Understood? There will be failures in the case of everyone. As we have seen in the first part of the story, life is full of ups and downs. There will be failures in everyone's life. But if we give up, we will fail. If we are not giving up, if we are ready to face the failures, if we are ready to find out the reasons for our failures and start again, we will really succeed. Then only others will appreciate us. So this is the lesson. This is the idea we have to keep in our mind. Failures are part of everyone's life. So if we fail, that is not the end of everything. That is to give us one more opportunity to find out our mistakes, to rectify our mistakes, and to do something in a better way. Okay. So children, now we have completed the story. So now what you have to do is to read the story, complete the side questions. 15 side questions are given there. So read the story many times and complete the side questions. Write it in your notebooks. Okay, so the other activities we will discuss next day, tomorrow. So we will stop for today. Thank you.